Good morning. Today what we're going to do is we are going to create our Faith Ringgold story quilts. And step one of creating your Faith Ringgold story quilt is going to be drawing the city. So when we draw a city, we need to think about what we see when we take a look at a city skyline. So we see lots of buildings, and the buildings are going to mostly be a rectangular shape. So what we're going to start to do is we're going to start to make a lot of different rectangles. You're going to not make them all the same. Some are going to be big, some are going to be smaller, some are going to be wider, some are going to be narrower. And you can really choose which types of cities you want to make. So we're going to begin maybe about halfway on our paper. And what you need to do is start over on one side. Just pick any side. I'm going to start on my left side, and I'm going to start maybe about halfway on my paper, and I'm just going to make a line across, and then I'm going to go straight down all the way down to the bottom. And that is actually my first city building. Notice, even though it's a rectangle, I didn't have to make the left side or the bottom because my paper was already creating those sides. In a city, what we notice is that the buildings are really close to each other. And because the buildings are so close to each other, we don't have to always make that second two lines. We can make them right off of the building we just made. So right now I'm going to make a slightly shorter building. So I'm going to go across and then straight down to the bottom of the paper. Next, I'm going to make a taller building. Now, because this one's shorter, I am going to have to draw a little bit of this side. So I'm going to go up a little bit. I don't think I want it quite as tall as the earlier one. And I'm going to go over. I'm going to make this one a little wider. And down. My next one. And you're going to keep doing this until you fill up your whole paper. If you decide that you want to have a little bit of space in between some of the buildings, that's quite all right. You can just do that full side. Over and down, and then, as I said, just keep going till you get off to the edge. All right, so now I have my city skyline, and what I'm going to do is I am going to add the windows. So windows are going to probably be squares and rectangles. So I'm just going to fill those in. You could do 3 across, you could do 4 across, you could do 2 across. It's up to you. It depends on how wide your buildings are. One thing you're going to have to decide is, are your buildings touching the ground here, or is there more space to go down below here? If they're touching the ground, you might want to add a door. I've decided that mine are not touching the ground, so I've just got, this is just chopping off about maybe half of the building. You could be creative and add some semicircle windows if you want, like that. It's up to you. You are sort of the architect and the designer for this. You just want to do that for all of your buildings. Try some variety. Don't make them all the same. So on that one, I'm doing some skinny, narrow ones, and some long, and some shorter, square ones. It's up to you. Just fill it in. You're the artist here. Oh, that was my dog Stanley. You can hear her sometimes. She's sort of my artist assistant here. So sometimes you might hear her barking. It usually means she just wants attention. If you have markers or crayons or something with color, you can take those tools and you can decorate the rest of your city with them. You can color in the buildings. Lots of times buildings are brown or gray, but go ahead and be creative with how you add color to your city. You can also add some extra details to the rooftops of the city's buildings. Sometimes there's little boxes, which could be little doorways out to the rooftop because people hang out on rooftops. You could add these little sort of houses that look something like that, which are called water towers, which store the water for the building in there. You could add some things that look like chimneys. It's up to you, but you can just it's just like a couple little extra rectangles on top of your buildings, just to give it a little more interest. You don't have to do it for all of them, but there's some more things there. So now what you have is your city, and the next thing you need to do is you need to add your picture of your person flying in the sky. So when you drew your city, that's why we started halfway. We didn't start all the way up here. We wanted to leave some space for the sky, which is very important so that we could draw that in. So in the next video, you can see how to draw a person, and then I will show you how to draw the person on here. Okay, thank you.